Welcome back to BTN Live. As I am sure you have heard by now, Randy Edsall is no longer the coach at Maryland, and Mike Locksley will serve as the interim head coach for the team. And athletic director Kevin Anderson has full confidence in the direction that he will take the Terps this season.
Many of you don't know, Mike and I go back a long way. We've known each other over 10, 15 years. I've seen him grow up as a person, as a man, and as a football coach. And I think if there's any time for Mike to take over the program now and help us move in a positive direction, now is the time.
Mike Locksley joining us now from our studio in College Park. Coach, I know it has been a whirlwind for you. We certainly appreciate you taking some time to speak with us. What's the message that you have tried to relay to the players on the team since Coach Edsall was let go on Sunday?
Well, the big thing, Dave, is just like, hey, one, come in and be in touch with the feelings or the emotions that you have, because obviously that change and when it happens is always tough on the kids. And, you know, we want to come to grips with the emotions we have. And then, two, we gave them about 48 hours to kind of deal with those things. We got back together yesterday as a team. It was just myself and the team, and made sure that we got out all of the feelings and all of the issues that go along when you have the decision that was made Sunday happen. And then we agreed when we walked out the room that we were going to rip the rearview mirror off, and it's all forward thinking for us, and everything is on to Penn State.
Before we move forward here, I do want to ask you, obviously, Randy Edsall, someone you work very closely with. He has immense respect for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be his offensive coordinator. I know you have a lot of respect for him. What have your interactions been like with him since this news came down?
No, you're right. You know, I worked for a great man in Randy, and he left the program better than what it was when he came in, and a tremendous amount of respect, and I also feel a tremendous amount of responsibility for where we are as a program. I know from the offensive side of the ball, we could have done a better job to support him and try to help that decision not happen. I have had an opportunity to speak with Coach. He talked to us as a staff after the situation took place. We kind of said our goodbyes, and then he and I were able to speak on the phone on Monday briefly. And, you know, again, I just very thankful for the opportunity. You know, he brought me back home after a rough time myself, and then, you know, giving me 4 great years, opportunity to get back here to the D.C. area where my family's from. And, you know, again, I'll forever be grateful for the opportunity that Randy gave me.
You've been a head coach before. How does that help you in a situation like this?
Well, you know, it's not just the fact of having been a head coach, but I've also been put into the position where I've had to kind of be the bridge between the old and the new. You know, I did this same job when we went from Ron Vanderlinden here to Ralph Friesen, keeping things together in terms of the recruiting piece and the team. And then I did the same thing at Florida when we went from Zook to Urban Meyer. Again, making sure that things move smoothly with the transition. So do I have experience at it? Unfortunately, yes. But I think the head coaching experience that I gained has been invaluable for me. It's still a whirlwind. It's still like drinking from a fire hose because the way everything comes on to you. And the difference is I do have some experiences that I can lean on to help me get through it.
You've had kind of a revolving door at quarterback. How do you envision that playing out from here on in?
You know, Dave, the good thing about it, you know, the Sunday after the Michigan game, you know, Randy and I met and we made the decision, and Coach, you know, was all for it and made the decision that, hey, we're going with Perry. Coach met with Perry, told him he was the guy, that he didn't have to look over his shoulder, that we were going to build the offensive plan around what he does well and his skill set. And we went into the Ohio State game already with that decision made, so that's nothing new. And I think it's stabilized things for us on offense, being able to have a guy back there that we've committed to, and we're going to continue to make the commitment to Perry being our guy unless, you know, injury comes in or, if, you know, other factors. But, you know, right now, you know, he's stabilized the position.
this where you're trying to keep that group together without knowing whether or not you'll be a part of things going forward?
Well, again, you're exactly right. And, you know, the guys that we've recruited understood that the type of season that was potentially for us, breaking in a new quarterback and losing the type of players that we lost on the defensive side of the ball, and then from an offensive side of the ball, losing a lot of production at the receiver position. We've communicated well with the group of guys that we have committed. When this thing happened, you know, obviously with the rumors of it prior to the Ohio State game, we had to deal with it at that point. And then when the decision was made, and we had to get right on the phone with those guys. And I think as long as you're open, honest with your communication, you know, all those guys are committed to Maryland. And again, kind of like me, you know, being from this area, I think the guys understand the benefits of staying close to home, regardless of who the head coach is. Now, obviously, once the decision is made, they'll have to make some decisions to make sure they fit the philosophy of whoever they bring in to run the program and make some decisions. But we've been fortunate that all of these guys, we have tremendous relationships with them. You know, being located where we are, we're able to get these guys up on campus as often as possible. So there is a really tight connection between our staff and then the guys we have committed, and we've been able to kind of maintain it. Now what we have to do is go out, try to win some games and gain some positive momentum.
The interim head coach at Maryland, Mike Locksley. Coach, I know it's a challenging time for you. Again, thanks for taking a few minutes to visit with us.
No problem. Thank you, Dave.